Bad boys, what you want, what you gonna do? When Chevy John don't come for you. Tell me what you wanna do, what you wanna do.
Hey there, sir. I'm Officer Greenwood from the Springford School District. Can you turn on the music a little bit? Phil Cole? Staff Connections?
Hey, Officer Greenwood?
Hey, can you get me on your show?
Sure.
All right, cool.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Staff Connections. And you know the gist of this is just to get to know the people who are working within your school district. Why? Simply because you should get to know them. Because they matter just like you. And along with us today is Officer Bob Greenwood. How you doing there, Bob?
Good evening. Thanks for having me here today.
Oh, thanks for having me. Hey, it's beautiful outside.
Gorgeous
so,
out here.
Andrew got us outside, so it's a nice thing. So we're in front of the elementary school here, where I work here. So, Bob, I mean, talk about that. It's not just this elementary school. You work basically for all the elementary schools. Tell us about your role here.
Correct. I am the fourth officer hired by the Springford School District Police Department. We're a full-fledged police department, and my primary duties and responsibility is driving around in my vehicle, going to every elementary school and the intermediate or the middle schools. So I get to see all the kids having lunch out in the playground, get to meet them when they're getting on and off the bus. So it's fun and it's exciting because it's a variety of things.
When the kids first saw you, I guess, are they getting used to you, I guess, at this point, seeing the car and
Yes.
seeing that, you're coming up and, I've seen you here and you introduce yourself and you talk to the kids just like you would a teacher.
Yeah, the kids at first were like, oh, they were kind of scared, but they didn't know. But then, once I tell them that I'm here for everybody's safety, for your safety, for the teacher's safety, for the parent's safety, the kids understand then that we're part of the school district and that, we're here. And the teachers and the staff do a great job of informing the kids that, we're part of the school district and we're here to help everybody.
All right, but speaking of help, I want to help you out a little bit.
Sure.
I want you to feel at home. I brought you a donut here if you'd like to eat that.
The old
during
donut joke.
You
The old
guys
donut
love
joke.
the old
Where's the
donut.
coffee?
Yeah, there. I don't know.
Thank you very
I'm not
much.
a caffeine, no problem there, but you can enjoy that later. All right, so real quickly, before we get into anything, I'm going to talk a little bit. We're going to get personal with you.
Sure.
I want to test you a little bit.
Sure.
All right. So you've been an officer for a while.
Yes.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flash you some pictures here.
Okay.
Of famous police officers in movies or TV. All you got to do is give me
Am
the
I in
movie.
there? Am I in there?
Oh, you could
okay.
be. So you're going to give me the TV or the movie in which this person appeared. All right. Ready? All right. Here we go. First one.
Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry is correct.
Clint Eastwood.
That is correct.
Bruce Willis, Die Hard.
Bruce Willis in Die Hard is correct.
I just watched this the other night. Mel Gibson and
Danny Glover together.
Yeah.
In
I'm drawing a blank.
movies.
There was three of them. Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon is
Yes.
correct.
Columbo.
Columbo, one
Peter
of my dad's
Falk.
favorites.
Peter Falk. The
Very
Raincoat.
good.
Eddie Murphy. Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes. You're pretty good here,
With
bro.
the tailpipe and the banana
Whoops.
joke. Simpsons, but I don't remember his name.
Sergeant Wiggum.
Sergeant Wiggum.
Chief Wiggum,
Sergeant
legend.
Wiggum.
Yeah, Chief Wiggum. Sorry.
Buford T. Justice.
What movie was he in?
That was Burt Reynolds,
Burt
Sally
Reynolds,
Fields.
correct.
I remember the song from it. Smokey the Bandit.
Smokey the Bandit. All right, that'll give me that. That's all right. That clue. All right.
Eric Estrada, Chips.
Eric Estrada's looking pretty
Not
tough
with
in that,
not
by
with
the
his
way.
motorcycle, by the way.
Yeah, he's not by the motorcycle. Suppose
Miami Vice,
Miami
Crockett and
Vice,
Tubbs,
that's right.
and Terminator, RoboCop.
RoboCop.
But
All right,
I forget what the
made a mess
officer's
here on
name
the
was.
I forget that
Yeah,
officer's
yeah.
name. But nice job there, Bob.
Thank
All right. So let's get serious. Let's talk about you. So how long have you been an officer?
I've been an officer with the Springford School District for just about 4 months now. But prior to that, I was an officer for 33 years and 9 months in Lower Pottsgrove Township, Montgomery County, up outside of Pottstown.
Okay, so now what's the biggest difference you'd say from there to coming to a school district elementary?
The plus thing for me is there's no shift work. Working up there, you have to work night shift and all that. Here, it's day shift, Monday through Friday, weekends off. Had a nice little holiday break there for Easter, so that's what I'm enjoying about this right now. But as far as police work goes, it's a different kind of policing. geared more towards safety. You know, we're here as you know, as hopefully as a presence. You know, as so people notice us, so people see us. You know, we park the car in front of the schools. We stand outside so they see us, so the word gets out that we're here. You know, we're here to protect the kids and the staff.
All right. Speaking of, you just mentioned Easter. You spent some time with your family. Talk about your family. We know your wife works here at Upper Providence.
Correct.
Tell us a little about that.
Correct.
And your son.
My wife works here at UPE. She's a nurse. She's been a nurse in a hospital. Took some time off when we had our son and got back into nursing, and liked the schedule at the school. You know, having summer off and stuff like that. So she's been here for 3 or 4 years, have a son, Ross, only child. He's 25, and he just finished his first year as a Pennsylvania State Trooper at the Media Barracks.
Nice. Now, in all, it's sort of a serious note here. It's great that he's a state trooper. Do you constantly worry about that? You know, him being young and this and that, or are you 100% okay since you've been kind of in the business for that?
Yeah, I'm 100% okay with it, because I know that the state police are an excellent agency. They actually are the first police agency from 1905, and they have great training. It's actually a 6-month training process. So I knew that they gave them all the good tools that they needed to learn. He's at a barracks. It's very busy. They take care of the guys down there. They have field training officers. Mom, on the other hand, I think she worries a little bit, but.
Do you guys kind of get, a little? Does he kind of rouse you a little bit because
yes,
he's like,
yes.
"Oh, you're in an elementary school. How scary is that?"
There's a little rivalry. There's a little rivalry going on because
pulling over a bus.
State police have jurisdiction everywhere in the state. Where when I was in Lower Pottsgrove, I only had jurisdiction in Lower Pottsgrove. Here at Springford, I only have jurisdiction in the school. State police have statewide jurisdiction. So he makes the joke that he could come in at any time and take over my scene.
All right, so being an officer, your son being an officer, you guys are into service. And
Correct.
service is it's just a great thing. I always tell people, especially being a teacher, there's nothing like a service. It's nothing so valuable. So speaking of that, you guys have another interest that you do outside of school. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I have been a volunteer fireman since I was 16. So was my son. We're currently active with the Trap Fire Company. I love just being able to help the community, going out. You go to anything from a vehicle accident to, unfortunately, a fully involved house. You see people when they're having a bad day, and you just try and do the best you can to make it better for them. Help them out as much as you can.
That's awesome. You mentioned, like you said, from what I understand, you're not really dealing with so much fires as much, are you guys dealing with more accidents and things like that?
Sometimes it goes in spurts. You could have a couple fires, and then it could be, false alarm, false alarm, false alarm, false alarm. But it's just like police work. There's nothing routine. There is no routine call in emergency services. It can be dispatched to a fire alarm, and there could be a kitchen on fire that, the alarms was set off. So,
and do you just get called anytime since you're a volunteer?
Correct. Yeah, we all have like beepers or pagers, or
Gotcha.
Now a day and age of cell phone. There's an app for that. So we all get alerted to that, and then we jump in our cars and drive to the firehouse and get on the truck.
All right, now.
And let me just throw this in there.
Okay.
Volunteerism is dwindling in the fire service. So if anybody out there has any interest in joining your local fire company, whether it's in Trapp, Collegeville, Royersford, Limerick, please stop by the firehouse, because we're always looking for help.
All right, that's awesome. All right, and you're helping out again your community and talking about community. I read you're born and bred here, so you went
Correct.
to Springford area.
Correct. Graduated from Springford. Was born and raised down on Route 29, where when there was no Wegmans, when there was no shopping centers.
On the road you were raised?
Yeah, we had a farm down there right next to Rivercrest. But Rivercrest back then was like a private school, and born and raised there. Was the first year student in kindergarten at the Oaks Elementary School, brand new school. Went there, went to the junior high, graduated from the senior high, went to Votech school also.
So talking to somebody like that, you've been around here, what is it like? Is it almost like watching like a timeline where you went to school here, now you've had to see some unbelievable changes. Like, what are the changes you've seen since you went to high school, even elementary school?
Just the volume of people. When I was growing up, you would go to King of Prussia, and that would be considered, the big town, because there was a mall, there was a highway. And with 422 was being built, and it wasn't complete, but when I graduated, that was the influx of the people. everybody moving out, homes being built, farms being sold, being turned into housing developments, shopping centers going up, and with that comes the growth in the school district. Because we have 7 elementary schools. Back in the day, there probably was only 4 or 5.
Yeah. All right. So talking about your parents, what did your parents do? Was your dad
Father was an accountant,
Okay.
but we call him like a gentleman farmer. We had a farm. We had animals. I was involved in 4-H.
Nice.
I was involved in FFA with my with different kind of animals, taking them to shows, and, going to different events with them and stuff like that. So he farmed on the weekends, worked as an accountant during the week. Mom was a 30-year school teacher. She taught school, took a time off when I was born, and then got back into teaching, and she retired from Phoenixville School District.
Nice. All right. So some teaching, some law enforcement into the blood. All right. So I saw that you and your dad liked to watch the Battle of the Bulge. Was that just something you guys watched? Like you would just rent every once in a while, or anytime it came on?
Yeah,
you guys
anytime
would
it
kinda
came on,
watch?
that was like like the weekends were our time. We'd get together and we'd watch maybe a baseball game or watch a movie, and that just just to think about what those men went through during that experience. Nowadays everybody takes everything, everything's disposable, everything's at our fingertips. But those guys, they went through a lot, and to watch that movie and see what happens, that was very interesting. That's the thing that stuck with me with my dad.
Nice. All right. So getting personal, and
Sure.
again, hopefully you don't have to go too entail if you
No
don't want to.
secrets.
It's up to you.
No secrets.
Yeah, no secrets. But one of the interesting things, I saw you're a cancer survivor. So, would you like to talk about what happened?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I
awesome.
am, but it's funny because when the doctor told me that I had it, he's like, if you're gonna have it, you probably have the best kind. It was thyroid cancer, very quick. They just took the thyroid out, removed it by surgery, checked it, they got everything out, and that was a simple thing. And I say that, but I also have the utmost respect for the people who have battled it more than once, or still battling it. So it changes I'm lucky, but there's also people out there that are luckier than me.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, so one last question, and I kind of ended with the teachers with this and this
Sure.
and that. But, as the years go on, eventually, everybody retires. When you retire from the school district and this and that, and you're going to all these elementary schools, you're seeing the kids, what do you want them to remember about Officer Greenwood?
I just want them to remember me as just a regular guy. I just want them to enjoy. I try and make them laugh, tell them some jokes, have some fun with the kids, because if they smile, that's the positive experience. If they'll remember something that's good instead of having negative contact with them. Yes, there's going to be times where I have to have negative contact with kids and parents and stuff like that. But if they remember the positive, the good time, that smile, that'll do it for me.
Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you for having me. Great.
Hey, he made me smile. I hope he made you smile. Say hello to Officer Greenwood next time you see him. He's here for your safety. He's here for mine. Make sure you say hello. Thanks for joining us on Staff Connections. Until next time, I'm your host, Bill Cole. Have a good night.